right. So here's the thing, guys. How long do you think it's going to be until artificial intelligence and robotics replace the labor force entirely?
Entirely?
Yeah.
I don't know about entirely, man. Like, how do you entirely replace it?
Well, okay, maybe not the entire labor force, but the manufacturing and industrial labor force. Like,
again, I think the term entirely is a little
doing,
loaded here.
People
Right?
are doing manufacturing and assembly type of work.
Yeah, but a lot of that is already automated.
That's
right?
what I mean. How
So the
long
question
until
is like,
there's no
what do you mean by like completely? I don't think it
like
could
no
ever
humans left in
completely.
that industry.
It's gonna be like probably 100 years before that, man.
Really?
Because like there's always like some intricate little thing that a machine's not gonna be able to do.
You might be right,
Right.
but 100 years is also just a drop in the bucket. Like,
Right,
in time.
but like if the question is like how long before the majority of the workforce is gone, that could be a lot sooner. That could be like 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They say that every 250 years, the end of an era comes. So they think that capitalism is going to end in the next 10 years completely in this part of the world.
in the next 10 years.
Yes.
So what do you think is coming next?
Oh man,
It fucking beats me, to be honest.
that
with
would
you.
take some
But
kind of
I do
catastrophe.
see how it would happen because more people right now than ever don't want to work. They don't want to make a living going to do whatever 9 to 5 every day. They just want to go see the world and travel and enjoy their lives. And
Right.
that's a lot more than it was 40 years ago, you know? Because people are finally starting to think for themselves and realize what kind of life is working 9 to 5 every day.
Yeah, but here's the problem though. Like if you're just gonna go chill, if that's your thing,
Well, no.
someone's gotta be there to accommodate your chilling,
No,
right?
absolutely. But the way
Like
that...
food and
Yeah, like if you want to go to McDonald's and fuck around, someone's gonna be flipping your burgers for you, right?
No,
So
but I just think that there's going to be a change in structure. I don't think, like, obviously there has to be someone to run things, right? But I think there's going to be a change in the way that North America handles its workforce and how the workforce is repaid for the dues that they pay.
So any ideas of how that changed, like what that would look like?
I think that there's going to be more, like, universal things, like things that are necessary to live. Like, I don't think it's going to be communism per se, but I think it's going to be a lot more like communism.
I see. So you think pseudo-communism coming our way in 10 years?
Yes.
Or less?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't know. Honestly, like, do whatever you gotta do, right?
Well, do whatever you gotta do ends up like leading to rat eating for a lot of places. So I don't know if that's...
rat
If
eating.
that's the way that we're gonna have to live, like, in order to...
We don't have to live like... We're not living like that right now.
No, we can absolutely prevent getting to a point where we run out of resources to that point.
Right.
If
But
we
are
just
we
simply
going
allow
to
the
put
market,
actions in place?
if we just simply allow the market to keep on its infinite expansion curve and deprive
Killing
the earth of
shit
all its resources,
and letting it die.
you're depriving the planet of all the resources until there's nothing left.
Like,
And
I know,
all we
right?
do is recycle already fabricated and artificially
shit.
created structures
They're already saying
until
by
the end of time.
2040 that heat waves are going to triple what they are now, regardless of how much we reduce from emissions.
Doesn't matter. Technology will remove the need to be sheltered from the heat.
Perhaps.
Unnecessary. We don't need to worry about global warming because
Yeah, you
the
can
pace
just
of
harvest energy from the sun.
Exactly. The pace of technology will outstrip. This is what a lot of people who are like big green, like pusher theorists don't understand, is that technology will remove the need to shelter from that kind of increased temperature on the surface.
I see. So you think they're
We-
thinking too small brain?
No, exactly. We're going to beat the destroy the planet curve with technology.
All right.
Because as the Internet of Things becomes more and more prevalent and more things can be automated and industries can be condensed, it will reduce the footprint and the amount of real estate that they take up so that other things that need to be used for like other structures that need to be used for the next layer of technology will have space to move efficiently into the industries without needing to take up additional resources.
All right. Fair enough. One thing though, are we going the right way, man? Like,
God, I hope
I
so.
don't think so.
No, we're not.
so we have to turn around in this point.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right. So where are we going?
Okay. So
Rip
turn around.
Riverty. Rip Riverty. It's off Walker.
You want to give me like? Why did you let me just drive?
Dude, I thought you knew we were
Why
there.
would I know?
Because you picked us up.
What's the
there
address,
and
dude?
drove us from there to the same
Do you know
place.
how hard it would be for me to remember every address I pick someone up from?
Yeah, but ours, dude.
So what's the address?
It's
So any other interesting stuff you want to unload here before we go?
Jeffrey Bezos needs to die.
Jeffrey Bezos needs to die.
oh.
Oh
Hot
god,
take.
that's a
Hot
little
take.
that's a little
Also,
sharp.
Elon
No,
Musk.
no.
Also Elon Musk?
Wow.
Nobody needs to die.
Okay, so here's my question for you: if Jeff Bezos was dead,
No,
where would all these people get their shit in the last year?
Anybody.
Amazon would still
Yeah.
be around.
Nothing
like,
would
that's not gonna
change.
change. Steve
If,
Jobs
if
is
Jeff
dead.
Bezos was to die, nothing at
Wait,
Amazon
Steve
would
Jobs
change.
is dead. I can still go buy an
Wait,
iPhone.
so your idea is that this guy that came along and gave us a service that kept us all afloat for the last year
He's
should
hoarding
fucking
the
die.
majority of wealth in the entire world. He could literally end world hunger multiple times and chooses not to. Instead, he's going to space.
I don't think how much money he has ends world hunger a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, he's literally the richest man in the world. He
Okay,
has
but here's my
billions.
counter argument to that. Like he
Billions.
has
I know
what?
It is.
So he has what? 200 billion right now,
This shit is toxic.
right?
Something like that.
So the U.S. government's military budget alone is 5 times that.
Yeah, but that's not.
So
a
if the
single
U.S.
person.
military decides to cut down by 20%, they could also end world hunger
That's not a
multiple
single
times over.
person, and
Yeah,
there
but
are
if
more
the
than
U.S.
one
government decided to cut down their military spending by
No,
20%,
but it
China
takes
would gain the
away.
technological edge in the war
takes
machine
it.
and would try to
Like
invade
that.
the West.
That, like
If
that.
they wanted to end world hunger, they could. Truly.
So here's again counter to that: the U.S. military is like what 10 times bigger than the next military, which
Yeah,
is
but
not
it's
China.
only bigger because they keep on spending.
Yeah, but if you take
That's
that
how you
20%
stay
off,
bigger.
they're still like a lot bigger than.
You'd be surprised, dude. Because the thing is, other budgets are smaller, but their R&D is better.
Like
for
that
the
much
dollars
better?
they spend, they're getting better technology.
You think like China has 1,000 times the efficiency of
No,
the U.S.
not
military?
1,000 times.
Well, it would have to be 1,000 times.
No, they're not that
Or-
far behind in standing. And actually,
1,000%,
in
my bad.
standing army size, they're already larger.
Right.
But they just don't have as much investment in budget. But that's what I'm saying. They're getting better quality of technology, which doesn't need to impact the price at a 1-to-1 or 1-to-10 ratio.
So you think maintaining world hunger is fine as long as we are bigger than
No.
China in terms of military
No,
strength?
I think that the world hunger shouldn't exist, and there's enough wealth and resources and production
Hence pseudo-communism.
in order for it to be completely eradicated. But I don't think it needs to be paid for by like reducing security type budgets.
So we should just take it from Bezos then.
No, not exactly.
No, I just think
There's-
billionaires should not have the amount of wealth that they have.
Okay.
Because no one can ethically work that much in their life and make that much money. You cannot ethically have $1 billion, even just $1 billion. You cannot ethically have it. It's literally impossible.
Well, why are you saying
have
it?
to extort other people in order to get to that amount of wealth. And the fact that he's extorting other people and hoarding all that wealth to himself, meanwhile there are people starving in the streets, there are people in war-torn countries, there are people here and there, right? He has all of this power that he unethically made himself, and now he's just choosing to do nothing but personal, selfish things with it.
But like unethically being like underpaying workers or like selling books? Like which one is the unethical?
Underpaying workers is a big one, yeah, 100%.
Okay, but what if like he didn't
In
set up
general,
Amazon
though,
and they
no
didn't
matter
get
what
jobs
you
at all?
do, You cannot ethically make $1 billion in one single life. And that's just the fact. You cannot. It's without extorting other people, you cannot make $1 billion in your lifetime. Much less multiple billions of dollars.
Okay, all right.
Well,
So how much money do you think you could ethically make without extorting others?
Ethically, I don't even think you could make $1 million.
Okay, but here's the thing.
It depends on how you do it.
So
Let
if
me
you won the
pose
lottery,
this
you would be
question.
like,
What's unethical about it? I competed knowing that I had low odds in a contest against other
The
people,
thing is, a lot
and
of
I
it is
won
so
because
many-
of random chance.
so many.
How can that be unethical?
because he's extorting other people.
No,
to
the
get that.
lottery example.
Okay, yeah, the lottery is different.
But you
Like I
said no
it
person
I
could
also
ever
said-
possibly.
I
Yeah.
said it depends how you get it.
That-
I said it depends
yeah.
how you get it. 'Cause I thought of the lottery.